Hi, everybody. It's Laura Osnes. Welcome back to my favorite day of the week. It's Wednesday and time for another episode of RNH Goes Live. Thank you so much for tuning in. Now, when I think of artists who are able to bring a contemporary flair to their work and really make a song their own, I think of my friend Natalie Weiss. We are so excited to be joined by Natalie today. She is a renowned recording artist, vocal coach, and YouTube star, and she also did the national tours of Wicked and Les Mis. Tonight, she is going to bring us, or today, she's going to bring us her brand new, exciting take on Mr. Snow from Rodgers and Hammerstein Carousel. Please help me welcome Natalie Weiss. Hi, Natalie!
Hi.
Yay! I'm so glad you're here. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
How are you? Where are you in quarantine? Like, what's happening?
I've been fine. I've been super busy, actually. I haven't had one bored minute during the 2 months, so that's great. I haven't really left either. I'm in New York City, and I'm doing okay.
Okay, so you're still like in your apartment, just, like living life, making videos, still singing a lot?
Doing some coachings on Zoom and making video projects and deleting emails eventually on the list of things to do.
Yes.
You know.
So Natalie, for those of you who don't know, Natalie has the most ridiculous voice. You're going to hear it in just a minute. But tell us about your masterclasses and how students can get a hold of you.
So you can go. Is this a shameless plug? You can go to
Natalie.
You can go to natalieweissofficial.com/teaching. I'm doing a bunch of group Zoom workshops, which are great. I do intro to riffing. I have some singers sing for me individually, but a lot of group formats are really working on Zoom. So
amazing. I've kind of been doing the same thing, and it's so cool to see artists continue to get to connect in that way and stay creative and stay inspiring each other, and that's amazing. Okay, so let's talk about Mr. Snow and your song choice for this week. What was your process like in finally deciding on this particular song and coming up with this arrangement?
So Mr. Snow, to me, has one of the greatest melodies of all time. It just makes me feel warm inside. The hook is just so beautiful. It is story-driven, character-driven, and has the most gorgeous melody. So when I was choosing between my 4 top songs that I already knew, because I wanted to do something I was really familiar with, because I had kind of sung the song in college and coached people on it. So a lot of people don't know, I actually love singing legit songs. So I loved singing all the yawny space on all of that stuff.
Yeah, we rarely get to hear you sing that these days.
I know, I love singing, big bewhiskered. I learned how to open up my sound on this song. So when I heard this, I was like, okay, so let me think of what to do. So I always go to everything is I stank everything up. I usually slow it down. That's how I start. And then I go to country vibe in my head or guitar. So I asked a friend of mine to play guitar through some of the songs. And then we were like, oh, this isn't working for this. And then I was having a casual conversation with my roommate in the kitchen, who is a director, producer. So he knows musical theater really well. And he sort of was taking a joke approach where he was like, what if Mr. Snow is yes, but what if he's come on, Mr. Snow? And then I was like, you mean this? And then I was just doing this. And then I said, I am commissioning my friend to make a full track for me. That's it. And then my friend Carl Cully and I literally completely collaborated for the last 2 weeks on the track.
Well, that's amazing. You really poured your heart and soul into this song for sure. And I can't wait for everybody to hear it. Are you ready, world? Here's Natalie Weiss with Mr. Snow.
His name is Mr. Snow, and an upstanding man is he. He comes home every night in his round-bottom boat with a net full of herring from the sea. An almost perfect boat, as refined as a girl could wish. But he spends so much time in his round-bottom boat that he can't seem to lose the smell of fish. The first time he kissed me, the whiff of his clothes knocked me flat on the floor of the room. But now that I love him, my heart's in my nose, and fish is my favorite perfume. And indeed, Miss Pipperidge, if you'll be mine, I'll be yours for the rest of my life. Next moment, we were promised, and now my mind's in a maze. For all it can do is look forward to that wonderful day of days. Yeah, yeah. When I marry Mr. Snow, the flowers will be buzzing with the hum of bees. The birds will make a racket in the churchyard trees. When I marry Mr. Snow, then it's off to home we'll go. And both of us look a little dreamy-eyed, driving to a cottage by the ocean side, where the salty breezes blow. He'll carry me across the threshold, and I'll be as meek as a lamb. And he'll set me on my feet, and he'll say kinda sweet, well, Mr. Snow, here I am. Oh, so no, yes, so no. Living in a cottage by the sea with me, for I love Mr. Snow. That young seafaring, bold and daring, big bewhiskered, overbearing, darling, Mr. Snow.
Oh my gosh, Natalie, you are ridiculous. This is my new favorite song. I think like this might be my favorite episode yet. Like I just can't. You are unbelievable. Like you're
Right? Mr. Snow is a bop.
yes, like your ability to just completely reimagine and like contemporize this like very classic Carousel song is just so awesome. I absolutely love it. So what were some of your inspirations now that we've heard it for like coming up with this arrangement?
Well, okay, so when I felt, first of all, the lyric has to support what's going on. So honestly, this does work in the sense of, you know, his name is Mr. Snow. Ooh, but it's more of like he's fine, not I'm proper in this R&H style. It's like when I marry Mr. Snow, like if kids are watching What I'm Gonna Do Later with Mr. Snow, it's just a different kind of approach to it, a more adult version.
Totally, and contemporary. I love it.
The two tempos and the two like inspirations were, Beyonce All Night. This, so that's how it started. And I definitely was playing around with tempos. I really wanted it like stank and slow. And then this one, Frank Ocean, Thinking About You. This was like tempo and feel. So at first, my friend Carl Cully, who I literally could not have done this without, he was putting in a bunch of strings on the chorus, and it actually sounded too happy. Like, it's not that it's not happy, but he added the guitar to like reharmonize some of it, so it wasn't when I,
Right.
You know. So that's how it started, and it just built from there.
Unbelievable. Well, it suits you amazingly well. I would not be surprised if people were like, can you create sheet music for this so I can sing this version of this song? That's so cool. I love that you collaborated so beautifully with your friends. We've talked about that before in this series about how important it is to just find your musical collaborators, and when you do, magic can happen.
And I'm definitely releasing outtakes from our Zooms back and forth of playing around with melodies that did not work and the process. So that'll be fun content after.
Fantastic. I can't wait. So before we go today, I just want to talk to you a little bit about your history with Rodgers and Hammerstein, if any. Like, what do you have like a pivotal moment in your life or some sort of memory related to Rodgers and Hammerstein, one of the movies or musicals?
I definitely remember watching Sound of Music as a child, so that was pretty familiar to me. I don't have vivid memories, but I think that was my first Rodgers and Hammerstein memory. And we studied them in college, so from what I can remember, not a whole lot, but we definitely had to study their repertoire. I was given in Rodgers and Hammerstein week, The Gentleman is a Dope from Allegro. And I just remember it like everyone, like one of my friends was doing like, was doing Mr. Snow. And then I was like, The Gentleman is a Dope, taxi. Like I had like a suit, like, yeah. It was in the rain. So that's what I remember about studying Rodgers and Hammerstein. But over the years, I've definitely like coached the material and for references. And I did Oklahoma at PCLO in 2000.
Oh, you did?
But I was second person from the left and had 7 minutes of stage time, and my made-up character name was Bertha.
Bertha, fantastic. I love
in my wig.
Nice. I love like being in the ensemble, like coming up with a full backstory, like name, your relationships to everybody, your little like township family.
Yep.
That's awesome. So is there maybe like an R&H dream role that you would still want to conquer? I think you would be quite an incredible Carrie.
Thank you. You know, I've always found that I never saw myself in the Rodgers and Hammerstein collection because to me, I find it hard to play roles that are not contemporary. So I think like if I had to choose, it would probably be maybe a stepsister in Cinderella.
Okay.
But I think like a challenge role might be a Julie Jordan in another life, just because I love singing all that material. I just need to find the ingenue in me.
Sure.
Like the Laura Osnes in me.
Oh, please. And I would, well, have often thought that like I got to do Julie Jordan in Chicago with the Lyric Opera, but I've actually always kind of coveted Carrie and Mr. Snow. Like that song is so great. And she gets When the Children Are Asleep. Like she has a lot of really sweet moments. And Carrie actually gets to sing a little bit more than Julie. Julie's kind of the quiet, reserved one. There's a lot going on in her mind, but Carrie kind of gets to be fun and funny. And I'm like, in another life, I wish people could see me as Carrie too.
See?
So we can do our own production of Carousel, where I can be Carrie and you can be Julie. But can I sing your version of Mr. Snow? You can teach me how to break down the riffs.
Now Laura Osnes says the hip hop version of what? I love that.
You can teach me all about breaking down those riffs.
Well, we can do part 2 of Mr. Snow riffs.
Yes.
Whoever thought
in love. Also, can we just talk about Emoji Land for like 1 second too before we sign off? Because that was, I think, the last thing I saw you in before the quarantine happened. Do you guys keep in touch? Is your cast still like, how are you?
To be honest,
amazing in that, by the way. She was so incredible. Her song, her voice, like brought down the whole house.
Oh my God, thank you. It was actually so weird because the day March 12th, we were doing a show on March 11th. I don't remember what day it was, but we were like, is this our last show? And it just kept getting worse, like the news. So they were like, clean your stations up. But there's a song in our show called Virus. And it's like, virus! And in that performance, the audience was like, what is going on? And we were like, our show was taken down by a virus when it's about a virus in a phone. Like the whole thing was like art imitating life. I'm very close with 2 people in the cast, the girl who played Nerdface. Oh, sorry, the girl who played Smize and the guy who played Nerdface. So we definitely, like our little family, we have Zooms a lot, but everyone looks fierce on Instagram.
Yeah, exactly. That's how we're keeping up these days.
Yeah.
Well, congrats on that show too. And thank you again for rocking that song with us today. I'm unbelievably inspired and I admire you so much. You're incredible.
You too, girl.
Hey, thanks, Natalie. Thanks so much for joining. Please stay safe, stay sane, and I can't wait to see you on the other side. Mwah. Bye, hun. You guys, thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of RNH Goes Live. If you are enjoying this series, I would encourage you to give to the Actors Fund. It's an incredible organization that is helping so many performing artists right now who are out of work. You can go to actorsfund.org/RH RH Goes Live. That's it. We'll put the link below. And be sure to stay tuned on all the Rodgers and Hammerstein social channels for the announcements for next week's RNH Goes Live and our upcoming guest. We'll see you next Wednesday. Thanks, guys, for tuning in.